This is Viterbi Voices.
Coming to you from the University of Southern California, Viterbi School of Engineering.
We're here to give you the inside scoop on research, classes, student life, and so much more.
All of these shared by students, faculty, alumni, and other members of the USC community.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Viterbi Voices. As usual, I am one of your co-hosts. My name is Paul Ledesma. I am the Executive Director of Undergraduate Admission here at the USC Viterbi School of Engineering.
And hello, everybody. I'm your other co-host, Maya Neuenschwander, currently a junior studying Industrial and Systems Engineering here at Viterbi.
Did you notice that I said I had this weird, USC Viterbi School? Did you hear that? It sounded weird to me. I didn't want to interrupt your introduction.
No, I didn't hear it. But I don't know. Every time I say it, I'll say Viterbi. So many different.
I think it's funny is that I feel like I say exactly the same thing with the same intonation every single week. And this time I was like, I'm going to mix it up. And it sounded really weird to me. I'm like, USC Viterbi School. Now I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm in my head and I don't know what's happening. Speaking of Viterbi, did you see our new Viterbi buttons?
Yes, they were
at the expo.
I had one on my shirt. I loved them. I think I was the first group to get the Viterbi sticker.
Yeah.
Because all the VSAs pointed it out to us at Explore USC. They were like, and look at this bee sticker. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mm-hmm. I heard it was your brainchild. Yes?
It was.
Mm-hmm.
I will gladly take credit for that until I get in trouble for it. Yes, because it was I can't claim credit for it exactly myself, but it was a longer brainstorm with the VSAs at the time, which was like, what cool stickers should we do? And they came up with all these different ideas, and a lot of them made their way through into fruition. And then I was like, wait a minute, Viterbi. What if we did a bee? We called it the Viterbi. And so that's where that sticker came from. And then when we made buttons this year, my staff, I said, we need to make buttons. What should we do? And they're like, you got to bring the bee back. And I was like, okay, we'll make a bee button. So I'm glad it worked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great. There were also these ask me about buttons that all the VSAs really liked. So we put our involvements on it. That was great.
These are like that. That's an old one. I made that a long time ago. And we just ordered too many of them. And so we've had them for years because when we made them, we're like, these are really giant. Yeah.
We were like, we should wear these for all of our events. Just have that part of the uniform.
Ask me about. Cool. All right. Well, here we are back on the podcast. And Maya, what have you got for us this week? I know you created a nice little fun conversational episode here.
Yeah. It's really, I feel like especially right now, I am just itching to travel. I actually was just accepted to a study abroad program.
Congratulations.
For Viterbi. Yeah, thank you. So it's in London next spring, but not even study.
You're going to be in London next spring. How are we doing a podcast? Are we going to be doing this remotely across the planet?
Perhaps at least we got to have at least one episode, and maybe you bring back your British Australian accent from the last one.
Right, because that was a huge hit. That was a huge hit. I'm sure everybody wants to hear.
It was hilarious. Lucas and I we were laughing. He offline. He was like, "Oh my gosh, that accent was hilarious."
I don't think it's in a good way though.
No, it's entertaining. You know?
Sure.
Yeah, but. So that is the plan there. And then I guess a lot of us just have the travel bug right now. And we were just coming off of fall break a few weeks ago. So I wanted to touch base and see where everybody went, what everybody was doing. And it morphed into a really fun conversation where people were talking about all of their travels. Cameron has some really cool plans for the latter part of his senior year. He's planning to go visit a bunch of friends in Europe. People were talking about the RIT 340 Maymester. And then also the RIT 340 spring break program, I believe.
Okay, I got to get you guys to stop saying RIT. No one knows what that means.
Oh my gosh, yeah, writing. So RIT 340 is so that's the advanced writing class at USC. So you'll have to take two. So RIT 150 in your freshman year, RIT 340 typically in your senior year.
Let me clarify what I mean. Writing 340 is the name of the class you're going to be taking. However, every single course has kind of a 4-letter acronym that goes into it. So for example, if you're taking a computer science class, in the catalog, when you register, it says CSCI, and then it has a number like CSCI 220, CSCI 306. Writing is WRIT, but for some reason, y'all recently started calling it RIT. and you use it and no one knows what the heck you're saying.
Oh boy. Is it recent that people
It's
have
like in
started
the
calling it
last
that?
3 years. It's
Interesting.
never existed before. All of a sudden, you all started making up RIT, and I'm like, the hell is RIT?
Okay.
It's fine. I just want to make sure it's like an acronym that you're saying an acronym and you don't even know it.
hmm Yeah. Apologies to the listeners of this podcast, but welcome to USC Viterbi student lingo. You
It's
know?
wherever we get as abbreviated as possible. How abbreviated can we be?
hmm Yeah, if I say ISE, Industrial Systems Engineering, I've definitely had some people question that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, those are the lingos. So it was just it was a really fun conversation. I enjoyed it. I think the students did as well. It was a nice reminder, nice relaxation. A lot of us are coming off our final midterms, so it was cool to connect and hear what everybody was up to.
All right. Well, let's get out of the way and hand it right back over to you to have this discussion. We'll see you guys on the back end.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Viterbi Voices. I am one of your co-hosts, Maya Newenschwander, and I'm here with a bunch of my friends today. And we are going to talk to you about fall break, or really any other fun weekend trip we've done. Going to school in LA is very fun, at least in my opinion. So I wanted to highlight some of the cool things that people can do going to school here. But before we get into that, this is Halloween weekend. So I guess this is also 10 p.m. at night. So thank you everybody for being on this podcast right now. But I guess first I want to go around and have everybody introduce yourself and also what you're going to be for Halloween. So like your name, major, where you're from, and then what's your Halloween costume. And if you don't have one, just know we're all judging you. All right, Cameron, I'm going to have you start.
Sure. So I'm Cameron. I'm a senior studying computer science and business. I'm from Chicago. I like to always say that. Chicago is very proud. This, for Halloween, I was debating between two costumes, but I've settled on like a Pharaoh Egyptian inspired costume with like the headdress and like all this stuff. I thought it'd be really cool. The other choice was Aladdin. So I don't have really an idea why I ended up picking it, but maybe Aladdin will be in stores like a secondary Halloween costume. You never know.
I like it. Yours kind of matches Natalie's. Have you heard she's going as a sun goddess?
Really, it's funny. For Halloween plans, we're actually going to be going to in previous VSA who now graduated.
Stevens?
Yes, Stevens party. We're going there, and I'm going to wear the same costume there. So maybe we'll actually get a chance to match.
Oh, fantastic. Let's see. Anybody else want to hop in next?
Hi, my name is Celine. I'm a junior studying biomedical engineering. I'm from Montebello, California, and I actually don't have a Halloween costume, but I am thinking of going as a Trader Joe's employee because I have a Halloween event tomorrow. So I'm going to try to pull a last minute thing.
Like, I accept the Trader Joe's employee, Celine, but no Halloween costume? Like, not even an idea of one?
I know. It like crept up on me. I was like, oh my gosh, Halloween is literally on Monday, but it's okay.
Yeah. I can understand that.
A Trader Joe's employee gives the same energy as like STEM majors going as a mad scientist.
Love.
Makes sense. All right, Taylor, how about you?
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Taylor, and I'm a sophomore studying computer science. And honestly, I just bought my costume maybe a couple hours ago. And I'm hoping that Amazon supplies come on time. But I'm going to be a Fawn from, I think that's her name. She's the Orange Fairy from Tinkerbell.
Oh, cute. Do you have any other friends who are going as something else from Tinkerbell?
Yeah. So one of my close friends, we have a Tinkerbell. Iridessa. Oh, I'm really having to remember some names now. But I know we have a green one, the yellow one, and I think someone's either being the blue or the purple one.
Beautiful. I feel like that's a very fun, like, group Halloween costume.
Exactly.
All right. Best for last, Araxi, introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. I'm Araxi. I'm a senior. I'm studying civil engineering with an emphasis in building science. I'm from Whittier, California, which is just like 45 minutes away from USC. For Halloween, I was going to go as Gru from Despicable Me because I already have the leather jacket, the bald cap, and the scarf. And I was like, this is perfect. Why would I be literally anything else? But I was told by a friend that was not cute enough for the party that we're going to. So now I'm going as a pirate.
Oh my gosh. Araxi, seriously, your friend told you that?
you know what? It's fair. It was like a invite only, very exclusive party, and I probably would have been turned away at the door if I showed up in a bald cap. So that's fair.
You'll have to wear it at another one. We can go to Stephen Lewis's party on Sunday.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's very exciting. I'm excited to hear about how all of your Halloweens go next week. But for now, I'm going to challenge you all to think back 2 weeks ago. I know October feels like 3 months of my time. It's been a second and also a year all at once. But thinking back to fall break, I am very curious. How did you guys spend that little break off? So for those of you listening, we had, I believe, what was it, Thursday and Friday off of school. So that's something USC will do pretty much every year. And then a lot of students will take trips or just take well-needed time to rest and catch up on homework. So what did you guys do?
Yeah, so I actually took fall break a little early. I started my break on Tuesday because I went to San Antonio, Texas for a biomedical engineering conference. So it was like half of my break conference, or maybe 1/3 of my break conference and 2/3 of my break exploring San Antonio. So it was really fun.
What did you do at the conference?
So the conference is like geared towards research. So you get to talk to different graduate schools about their like master's or PhD programs. And there's also different research presentations. But outside of the conference, we got to explore San Antonio, which was really fun because the very first night, my friend saw that there were Conan Gray tickets, and because he was touring in San Antonio, and I'm a huge Conan Gray fan, but I wanted to see him in Los Angeles, but tickets were like $150 for general admission, and the tickets in San Antonio were like $30. So we just bought them and we went, and it was so fun. So just like a good balance between like conference things and also like fun things.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. That's so spontaneous. Like,
yeah, it was such a moment, and I am a huge Conan Gray fan, so it was really cool.
Sounds like a fun break. You really put a lot into those days. I know that like pretty much everybody I've talked to, I'm like, wow, I feel like this was like a week in 2 days off of school.
Yeah.
So very fun. Anybody else? Anything fun? Anything cool? Anything relaxing?
Yeah, so me and my friend actually we've been playing fall break since August because we went to Guadalajara, Mexico. And it was so fun. Like we left really early Thursday morning, just found good tickets, a good Airbnb. And yeah, we were just exploring the city. They were having a festival. There was like a Halloween Horror Nights version in the city that we also went to. And it was just a great time to get away, relax. And ironically, we still did work too. We both had meetings at one point. I was trying to finish up a CS homework at the same time. But it was like a nice little getaway just from everything and seeing something new. And it was my first time out of the country by flight. So that was cool.
Oh, that's exciting. So how long is that flight?
It was 3 hours. So not
3
bad.
hours.
Yeah. I was like, I got my passport in July, and I basically was telling my parents, I was like, I'm going somewhere. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I'm going.
Yeah, hence planning the trip since August.
Exactly. So it worked out really well, and I had a great time. And we like left Thursday morning, and we were back Sunday by 10 a.m. So good time.
So fun. I also went to Mexico. Actually, I went to it's called Punta Mira, but we flew into Puerto Vallarta, which I think is somewhat close to Guadalajara.
It is. We almost went there. We said we are gonna go there next fall break.
Totally recommend it. Yeah, that was. I've done the fall break within California, and now doing the fall break, like flying outside of the country. Like it was very fun. I think it felt like longer than a weekend, which was really nice. That was what I needed.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Roxy, Cameron.
I was also a globetrotter. Not a globetrotter, just within America trotter. I went to Boston with my dad, which was really, really fun. We literally just like spent the entire time walking. Like I swear I probably walked 75% of Boston. By the end of the trip, we were clocking like 25K steps every single day. But it was really, really cool. I saw a lot of the city. We went to go tour MIT because I'm considering applying for school next year for a master's program. We'll see what happens. But also just to visit Boston in general was my first time going. And it's just so pretty. So like fall, like it was the perfect place to go for fall break. Like just the fall leaves with like the old historic buildings. Oh, it was beautiful. I had a great time.
Fantastic. I have two things. One, Araxi, that's definitely a longer flight than it was to Mexico.
Oh yeah, I knocked out on that flight. I was like, I'm gonna get so much work done. So productive. Like the second we were in the air, I was gone.
And then two, yeah, that's one thing I really miss, honestly, in LA is like seeing the fall colors. Like all my friends will post these pictures from home and like, yes, I love LA. It's fantastic. I get to go to the beach in the middle of October. Like if I were home, like it would be snowy. But yeah, I do miss the fall colors. So I think like seeing everybody's stories fall break when people went to places where they could specifically like feel like they were in like a fall environment, that was very cool.
Yeah, no, growing up in SoCal, like I've never experienced a proper fall. So I went over and I was like, this is a whole new world.
Yeah. It's like the nice fall though. Like you can get very not nice fall. Cameron, I'm sure you know. Like if you get like the sloshy snow, really cold, like brown fall, that's pretty gross.
Yeah, fall is like there's the golden fall where it's really nice. You get like the red leaves and it's like just about that like 55 to 60 where like a light jacket, for those who are like actually from a legitimate climate, light jacket. If you're from California or Florida, cough, everyone from here, they're gonna be really cold.
As I'm wearing my puffer on camera. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that was the conversation we had earlier. But yeah, like otherwise it's nice. But then occasionally you get a massive snowstorm in October and it's, cold afterwards. So
yeah.
I got to experience this proper fall. You guys are making it sound very beautiful.
It really is. I think Northern California, honestly, like wherever the leaves turn. Do you guys know if the leaves turn in Northern California?
I'm not sure.
I'm actually not sure either. That might be I have to ask someone from the Bay. Ooh.
Do we have any Bay Area representation in here?
No, we do not.
Oh my goodness.
That is shocking.
A little bit, yeah. I'll have to look it up online. Maybe so in the intro outro we'll report back. Do the leaves turn in Northern California? Very fun. Well, Cameron, what did you do for fall break?
So speaking of going to a fall place, so I took my fall break late, which is completely by the fault of my own because it turns out I could have taken the trip literally during fall break, but I went to New York City for fall break. So as a highest, like I'm working in a company based in New York City after I graduate. And similar to what USC does, like Discover USC, like when, students get in and they want to show them the university to say, hey, this is what we are, you should come here. The company that I work for, Bloomberg, they wanted to do the exact same thing. They're like, hey, we want to fly you out. We want to show you the place and see if you like it. So I basically got a free trip to fly out to New York City, see the office where I'll be working, and then just like hang around New York City, like go into like the Lower East Side, like walk around. Like I walked across the Brooklyn Bridge for the first time and like from Brooklyn to Manhattan because the best views of Manhattan are outside of it. Tried like real style New York pizza. I saw like a minor celebrity, like if you guys watch Blackish and That's Grownish, like the new guy, like Andre Jr. I saw him in New York City. Like very random. But like I watched the show. So I was like, oh, like I watched the show. So that was cool. But yeah, just New York City was great. And it was like the perfect fall weather. It's like that weather was a little, sometimes it's too hot, sometimes it's too cold, but it was really nice. And it was like perfectly sunny and clear. So
I'm sure that got you so excited for like going and like great. How do you feel in terms of motivation right now, Cameron? Like for school year, like for the rest of the school year, like you have your job. You're moving to New York.
Yeah. So like it's difficult, like in general, like I think that for students in general, especially but for seniors specifically, it's difficult to keep the maintenance up. It's like, why, like you want to try hard in your classes. You don't want to, obviously you're going to pass. You don't want to fail. You want to keep your GPA at least at the same level. You want to try to raise it at the same level, but it just becomes difficult because it's like, well, barring like some sort of catastrophe, I will graduate and I'll go to my job. So it's like the trying is there, but not really. It's like I'm still gonna get my work done. Like obviously, I don't want to turn like a crap like project, so I'm gonna do it. But I don't know. Like it's not too bad. Luckily, I structured my schedule so that way, like next semester, I've actually like am done with all like my engineering requisites. So now it's just like a GE writing like my last two business courses. So I like took my CS classes up closer to like now because I was more interested in them. I put the business classes towards the end. So now it's a lot less like basically I'm like kind of done with the STEMmy stuff. So it shouldn't be too intense. So hoping to keep my as my motivation dwindles, so does my workload.
Awesome. Okay, this might be early for you guys, but I'm just curious now. Is there anywhere in particular that you guys would love to live post graduation? And then I guess for you too, Cameron, like, did you always want to go to New York?
Sure, I could start where everyone else thinks because like I've had to think about this more recently. I feel like the senior, you're kind of thinking it. So ironically, I wanted to move to New York like as soon as the pandemic hit. And I feel like I had the option to go to school in New York, but I always wanted to go to LA for school. And so like, that's why like I chose USC. Like part of like among the many reasons, part of it was like, well, if you wanted your dream is in Los Angeles and your dream is like to go here and this USC is a great school, like you should live out your dream. Maybe I didn't know I wanted to live there, but I'd rather have gone to LA and realized that's where I wanted to live afterwards. But long term, I don't know actually. Like in the world, like I want to live for a bit in London, which my company have an office in London, so I may want to go there for a bit to see what it's like. I'm going to like a bunch of like places in Europe between like now and like December, like between like right before Christmas. So I'll get a chance to see like what like Spain and like parts of Spain, parts of Italy are like. So I don't know. I guess like London's like the cheesy answer or whatnot. I did want to always go to Australia, like Sydney, Melbourne. So go down under. Maybe sorry that was offensive. I apologize.
Globetrotting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you're coming to visit me in London next semester, correct?
So actually, yes, I got into the study abroad program like 2-3 days ago. So I'll be in Berlin. So I make
Is that the RIT 340 program?
Yeah. So like for those of you guys who don't know, like quick super tangent, like 30 seconds max. Like USC does like Maymesters and whatnot, like whereas basically after like the month of like May, you take like maybe like 2 to 4 weeks after graduation. Or like after your summer or whatever, like doesn't matter to graduation. Most times it's not in the school year. You take a travel trip. Anyway, they have a writing 340 program, which is like the upper division, like writing class everyone has to take. And the Viterbi option is like a place where in the spring you go abroad to Berlin, Germany for 10 days, like around your spring break, and you like learn about the engineering grand challenges. So I'll be there for a little bit. So I'm thinking about actually like leaving a little early to like go to someplace else in Europe and then kind of like, taking the train over. So I may like go see you and then trot on over.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Or I'll come visit you in Germany.
Oh, yeah. Why not? It'll be a bunch of Viterbi people. You might know some people in the class. So
yeah, I think I do.
I did that program last semester and it was so fun. Like I loved it. Berlin was awesome. And then they gave us a free weekend. So one of my friends and I flew to Amsterdam and then flew back to Berlin.
Wait, the weekend's free? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the weekend is free. So just plan it ahead and you're able to go places. So it was really fun. Very fun.
Yeah.
But going off of that, I love Berlin so much. Like I would definitely live there for like a year or two just because of how awesome it is. And their public transportation is fire. Like amazing. I love it.
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Huh? Oh, no.
It's okay. That was like
no, the only thing I knew how to say was like milk and coffee, please, which is like Milch und
Kaffee bitte.
Milch und Kaffee bitte. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and then Dankeschön. I think that was
thank you beautifully. Or it's like thank you very much. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Either there or New York is also somewhere that I wanted to live. But I feel like long term, like family wise, way in the future, I would feel like a Newport Beach vibe would be awesome. It's just super pretty and close enough to LA.
Yeah. Oh my God. My answer was also going to be somewhere in Orange County.
I like it. It's just nice. It's very nice.
So nice. Like, I love just all of Orange County, especially Newport Beach or even Laguna Beach. Like, it's just so quaint down there. I literally this past weekend stayed at like one of the hotels down there. I was in Huntington, technically, Huntington Beach, but like the Paseo Hotel, like right on the waterfront, like all these shops. Like, it's just, beach living is unlike any other, guys. So that's definitely my long term. I think it'd be fun for like a year or two to go someplace else. I like London a lot. I technically have some friends out, like not friends, like family out there. That like anytime we go to England, like we see them and they have British accents. It's really cute. So it'd be fun to go out there, or maybe even Italy. I feel like I could like hop all over Italy for like years and never tire of it. So
for sure. Oh goodness, I have a terrible answer. I feel like I haven't traveled enough to know. Like these all sound like fun places.
No judgment whatsoever. Honestly, I think like there's so much validity to anybody's answer for any of these, and like I probably don't even know the place where I'm gonna end up. Like I've probably never even been there before. But
Oh, I guess ideally though, like traveling internationally definitely would be really nice. My
Mhm.
mom has been to Okinawa, Japan, and she always says it's like beautiful, gorgeous. Apparently she lived there for a couple years. So that could be fun. But I think eventually I'd also want to come back to the States and be somewhere on the East Coast. Like I could see the DMV area, like being like, oh, raising a family there. A lot of my family's on the East Coast, so I feel like it just makes sense, but it could change.
You guys have had great answers. It's honestly, this makes me just want to hop on a plane right now, to be completely honest. I feel like post COVID, all of us are like, we're just starting to like really hit that travel bug again. And it's like never before everybody just wants to travel. And I mean, I think airline prices are like evened out now, but they were so expensive for a while there.
Oh my gosh, it was so bad. Like I was trying to travel over the summer. So I went to New York to visit my like over the summer for 4th of July to visit my friend who like was did an intern in like investment banking there. So I like slept on our couch for like 4 days. And my God, the trip from Seattle to Newark, New Jersey, nonstop was almost $800.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, you are in the middle, like Seattle's far.
Like it was horrid. Like I'm from Chicago, so I'm used to like I don't know, like being in a hub, so like all the flights are cheap because there's like a million going out a day. There's like nothing going to SeaTac. Sorry, Seattle people, but like it was weird. It was like everything was like an extra like $200 to get across the country, and I'm like, what? It was crazy.
Yeah, that's weird. You'd think there would be more flights from New York to Seattle.
This since it's like low key like San Francisco part two, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it was just the summer demand wasn't up, but that was an expensive flight. Like I had to use like credit card points and everything else to try to like not spend like almost $1,000 to get out to New York. I'm like, 'cause I was making money, but not that much money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, very, very exciting regardless. I feel like there's a lot of travel in all of our futures, especially yours, Cameron. I'm very excited to hear about the Maymaster program and for all my other friends who are in it. And Celine, so cool that you did that last semester. Like that was something I was like, oh, I would love to do that, but then like it just so happened that I could actually spend a whole semester abroad. So going to London, I'll report back to everybody who said they wanted to live there how London is. I also have family there actually, Araxi. I'm just remembering you said that. I heard you say that before at a VSA event. I was like, oh, wonder where do they live specifically?
Oh, I have no clue. I want to say like Guildford, but maybe that's just like a random British name that's popping into my mind. It's just like very rural.
Mhm.
Like that's
Mhm.
all I know about it.
Yeah, my cousins live in another, I guess it's definitely more rural than London, but just another English countryside town. It's called Malvern. God,
Malvern.
maybe they know each other.
Maybe they do.
You never know.
Never know. Those towns are like so quaint though. Like I remember we walked down to like the town and like they had these like cobblestone streets and we walked into like the pub. Like it was so funny.
Yeah, it's like you don't realize that those things are real, and then you get there and you're like, wow, this isn't just like on the TV. Like
Yeah.
they actually have pubs and all these things and British accents. Yes, it's so awesome. Awesome. Well, this covers a lot of the stuff that I wanted to ask you guys about. I guess is there anything else exciting going on that you want to talk about or share? Any of you guys? I feel like it's all just like looking forward to Halloween, trying to head down, finish out the semester, finish up whatever midterms you have. I actually was talking to Taylor at the beginning before you guys got onto the podcast, and like I was telling her, I just had my last midterm, so mentally I'm a little bit clocked out. Like I think next week I don't even think I have any homework due, so this is my nice little breather before finals.
Me and my friend started planning, like I say, have a little bit of a breather. So we started planning spring break, trying to figure out if it'd be possible to go somewhere, what we want to do, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a whole week then.
Yeah, it's nice. I know like I've already planned like I have plotted out where the finals are and I planned like basically the break between like finals and Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So real globetrotting this time. I have 2 friends who are in Spain, so it's like this is gonna be like a world tour. Like I don't know like how they finesse like traveling to Europe is like super cheap, but we're going to Barcelona and then from Barcelona to Milan to Rome, a train to Florence, back to Barcelona, and I think somehow we're going to Ibiza. I don't know. I think all that was barely like besides getting to Europe, like all of those trips will be like 350, like to go from like Barcelona to Milan to Rome, back to Barcelona to Ibiza, and then to Florence, like all like 350 max.
Oh my goodness. This is like the epitome of being in your 20s, just traveling around Europe, having a great time. I'm very excited to hear about your experience, Cameron, and I will also be hitting you up for your itinerary for when I'm in Europe.
Yes.
Then I
Like
can.
my friend, she's made like all the plans. So I'll just send you like everything we did. Cause like that's what she's doing. She's like, she goes to a different place like every week. Like she just came back from Paris. So like
That's so
you're in
fun.
London, like you can just go pretty much everywhere. They can't, my hand motions are not showing up, but they can just go out and everywhere and around.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Well, once again, thank you guys all for hopping onto this podcast at 10:30 at night. And I really enjoyed hearing about all the stuff that you guys did. I think there really is so much to do at USC, and every single person I've talked to has had a very interesting, unique fall break experience, just like all of you guys. So I hope anybody who's listening, this gives you a little glimpse into what it's like being a student here at USC, like traveling around, what we're doing on our breaks, what we're doing outside of our classes. Yeah, so once again, thank you guys all. I hope you have a great Halloween weekend. All right, everybody, welcome back. And Paul, I guess we'll
Yes.
turn to you for this question.
Uh-oh.
Was posed in the podcast, but do the leaves turn in Northern California?
Do the leaves turn? Yeah, well, leaves turn everywhere. It's just that the types of trees that exist in certain areas, there are more of them that turn than others. And so, for example, in my neighborhood, there are leaves that turn. It's just they're very particular trees. It's not like it's a giant, overwhelming amount of them. So there are trees everywhere that turn.
Okay. We were a little bit confused. We were like, do the leaves change colors in Northern California, like in the fall or something? Yeah. None of us could answer this.
It's not so it's particular trees do it, and there are a preponderance of those particular trees in particular areas of the country. It's not a regional thing necessarily. It's just that more of those trees are located regionally in different areas. And so the conversation, the idea of like being from Wisconsin, leaves turning is a thing. It's not so much a thing here because the types of trees we have here are not deciduous. Is that a correct? Am I remembering my plant terms?
You know, I would not be the person to ask. I didn't even know if like the trees in California turned colors.
We tend, again, it's not a regional thing. We just tend to have more evergreen trees, or trees that don't necessarily turn, they just die and fall off. Like the leaves they don't go like that red, orange, yellow, whatever. They just kind of go brown and done. Like we're done. So there is still a life cycle to the trees in California. It's just a lot of them are evergreen or they don't have that type of process.
Okay, awesome. Well, that was a great resolution. Okay, there you go, everybody.
Well, I could be way wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's my interpretation of it.
That seems right. I feel like there has to be like some section of trees. I'm sure there is at least one tree in California that changes its colors.
There are many. I mean, yeah. I just started thinking about the jacaranda trees and the idea that only exists here. Like the idea of like the purple flowers coming out and then they drop off and then they go away again. Like no one ever sees that other than us in Southern California.
Yeah, those are beautiful as well. So I guess, there's Southern California. You get the spring leaves turning as well. But yeah, it was a great conversation. We'll bring it back there. Listening to Araxi, she was talking about her time on the East Coast, looking at all the fall. She said that was like some of her first experience looking at all those trees. And that was cool.
Yeah. I mean, the whole process of like fall and autumn and all that, that type of seasonal stuff, I totally get. It's a thing that doesn't necessarily happen in California, and people always talk about like, oh, California, we don't have seasons. I'm like, we do. They're just different, and they tend to be two of them. Like it's like warm, and then it's kind of cold. That's basically it. We can have the two versions of it.
Hmm. Yeah, well, I guess fall break was good. Everybody could choose where they wanted to go. We heard a very wide assortment of places that people went. People went to Mexico, people went to New York, people went to Boston. I know, so I have some other friends who weren't on this podcast. People stayed around California. So I personally, I really love hearing about things that all the different USC students did. Paul, is fall break? That's relatively new. I remember
So
you
new.
saying.
It's so new. It's like, I don't know. It's within 5 years. Like it's such a new thing that I still forget it exists, because we do something and this is I don't know if we talked about this. Let's talk about spring break for a minute. Whenever students leave for spring break's always been a thing. They say, have a great spring break. And I'm like, I don't get break. There's no such thing as break. And so whenever it says have a great break or have a great summer break, have a great summer, I'm like, that doesn't exist. It exists for students. And so fall break is now starting to be a thing where it's like, have a great fall break. I'm like, you mean Thursday, Friday? I'm still here for. So yeah, it's a new thing. So it's cool. I mean, I love that you guys get a little bit of a break, and it's neat to see. We had a couple of info sessions during the fall break, and we had a lot of people visit in that time period. And I was like, I have to apologize up front. You're walking into a ghost town. And the reason it's a ghost town is because it's fall break. There's no students here. And I was like, oh, we wondered why it was so weird. Like we were walking on campus on a Friday and nothing's happening. Is this what it's normally like? I'm like, no, I have to explain it. It's a random Friday in October. There's no one here because it's fall break.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a shame that you don't get it. But if you had to take a weekend trip right now, let's say you did get Thursday, Friday off work.
Totally.
Where would you go?
That is a great question, and something that I'm currently trying to plan for December. So honestly, I would not want to get on a plane right now because I've been on lots of planes lately. And so my wife and I have been talking about, and some friends and I have been talking about kind of a regional 2.5 hour radius. Where would we go? And the common kind of 3 points in that radius are Santa Barbara, Palm Springs, and San Diego. And so currently I'm working on some possible little mini vacays over the next couple of weeks, if not December, to head up to each of those areas. And I think that we're landing on, we might do a family trip down to San Diego and kind of do the zoo and the wild animal park for a second. We might pop over to Palm Springs for a second because we've got some access to some cool houses there. And then in Santa Barbara, there's the whole San Ynez and kind of wine area that's really kind of fun, and we might go up there for a long extended weekend. And those are probably where I go. So I think the San Ynez, Santa Barbara area is really cool. If you've ever been up there, it's amazing. And talk about fall, you can see some really cool fall stuff up there.
Oh, that's awesome. I was gonna say Santa Barbara. That's like one of the one of the three you mentioned that I haven't been. I actually would have guessed Palm Springs and San Diego, but Santa Barbara's on my list.
Yeah. Santa Barbara's great. Well, that's the thing about Santa Barbara is that there's not one Santa Barbara. Like there's the city of Santa Barbara and kind of the beach and everything. And that's very cool. It's very unique. But then just north of that, in the area called San Ynez, the kind of the Chumash, like what previously was like a Chumash Indian reservation that's up there as well. There's some really great wineries and cool environments up there. The city of Solvang is fascinating of how kitschy and weird it is, but it's got some cool things that go on in there as well. So it's always really nice to go up there.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely have to go up soon. Yeah, thank you for introducing me to Santa Barbara there in that case.
Good times.
Yeah, do we have any updates on the admissions end? Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, okay, so today it's October 30th. If you're not working or completing your Common App, I don't want to tell you to start it now because you got 2 days, but if you can get it done, hey, go for it. But it is due November 1st. And so we got 2 days here to meet the early action merit scholarship deadline for first year admissions. Is for first year admission only. Transfer students, do not worry. You do not need to apply until February. But the application is due. Go to our website, viterbiadmission.usc.edu. We put up some recent posts there that will help you with some last minute help that you need. We held an AMA and Ask Me Anything about all the questions you might have before you apply. That's on our website. It's on our YouTube channel. We put up a info session that we did recently so you can get a good sense of our programs. Did some basic kind of FAQs on our site, things that are wondering, people that are wondering, and questions that we got. And so if you're not doing it, get on it. And if you are, hit that submit button. And then the other thing I'll tell you is that for a lot of you that are listening that have already applied, because we've got a lot of apps already, People ask like, what's next? And I'm like, what's next is forget about it. Like, go about the rest of your year. I know there's other colleges that you're thinking about. Focus on those. Forget about USC. Forget about schools you apply to. Focus on your senior year as far as like enjoying it and being seniors in high school. You only get that experience once. And I think oftentimes students focus so much on the college admission process that they kind of forget that they're in their last opportunity to really explore and engage and be that tip of the pyramid at the end of high school. And that's a super special experience that you will always remember. And I don't want you to remember it negatively. And I don't want you to think that you missed out on anything. So please do that, because we will get back in touch with you if we ever need anything else. If something comes up and we need more information or update information, we'll let you know. And also the admission office will be back in touch with everybody that applied by the early action deadline at the end of January with an update to the status of their admission. Some students will be admitted, and the majority will be asked whether they want to be considered for regular admission. And so we will then defer them into the regular admission pool, which is not a negative thing. A lot of people need to make sure they know that. The majority of our students will be admitted via regular admission. It's a small percentage of students that will be admitted early action, and then some of those students will be named merit scholarship finalists. So that process all doesn't happen until the end of January. So there's nothing to do between now and then. And also there's nothing you can do to affect those chances of admission. You put your application in, let it go, let it ride. If there's everything else we need from you, we will ask you for it. Mm-hmm. So that's really what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I especially love that bit to just enjoy your senior year. Like it's such a fun time. And as somebody who's been there, and then I guess somebody who's like senior year was also cut short of COVID, like enjoy every minute of it.
Yep. It's a big deal. Mm-hmm. All right, Maya, thank you so much. Thank you everybody out there for listening. And we will be back with you next week. And because it's daylight saving time, we will make this podcast a lot shorter. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm making it up. All right.
Make it shorter. Awesome. Thank you, Paul.
Bye.